All right, and welcome back to the next question of CAT 23 slot 2. This question is based on compound interest, and you will learn two fundamentals here. Let's revise the concept and solve this question also. So I have made the scenario. What was the question saying? So question is like Anil borrows rupees 2 lakh and at an interest rate of 8% per annum, compounded half yearly. So he has borrowed 2 lakh rupees, and 8% is the rate of interest, means for 12 months it is 8%, and it is compounded half yearly, means for every 6 months the rate of interest will be 4%. So I have written the data here. After an year he repays 10,320. So after an year he repaid 10,320, and then he closes the loan by repaying the outstanding amount at the end of third year. Means after repaying 10,320, then after 2 years he repaid the all borrowed amount. So what was the interest he repaid in all the 3 years that we have to find? All right, so let's start. What was the amount after an year? If I have to use the formula, amount equals to principal, that is 2 lakh, 1 plus rate of interest is 8, but it is half yearly, so you divide by 2, that would be 4%, and it was for, and raised to the power how much? 4% is applied. 4% is for 6 months. 4% is for 6 months. We have to apply for a year. So it would be 2 time periods. So the power will be 2. I hope this formula is well known to you. And we solve this thing. It is 2 lakh times 1.04 whole square. Now, I will teach you some basic speed math techniques to solve this 1.04 square. Otherwise, you can use the calculator in your main exam. Okay. But just learn some new fundamentals. Maybe it can be used in the next question or in the next mock test of your own. So if I have to solve this 1.04 square, 1.04 square, let's solve 104 square. What you have to do, you have to do the square of 4, that is 16. You have to multiply these 0 and 4 and double this thing. So multiply 0 and 4 is 0, and doubling is also 0. So 0 is the result, and you have to add 1. You got 16. Then you have to multiply this 1 and 4 and double this thing. So it would be 8. Then you have to multiply 0 and 1 and double this thing, that is 0. And then you have to do the square of 1. All right, so this would be the answer. Let's just do more quickly 104 square. So the next technique that you can learn here, when there is a 0 in between, you can solve this question. You can solve this number, the value, more easily, more fastly. What you have to do, you have to do the square of 4, that is 16. You have to multiply the outer digits 1 and 4 and double that thing and write that thing, write the result in 2-digit format. So 8, but not 8, 0, 8. And then do the square of 1, that is 1. Let's say you have to find 309 square. So do the square of 9, 81. Multiply 9 and 3, that is 27. Double that 27, 54, write 54. And then do the square of 3, that is 9. Let's do 709 square. So 9 square is 81. 9 and 7, 63. Doubling is 126. Now write 26 and 1 has to be carried over to the next number. 7 square is 49, and then add 1, that is 50. So these are some speed math techniques I will use. But I highly recommend to use the calculator in such typical calculations. Okay. So this thing multiply by 1.0816. And I can say it is just doubled 3031632. Yeah, 216. My bad. And 40 will cancel out. 0. Yeah. 2,16,320 would be the amount after an year. He repaid how much? 10,320. He would be left with 2,06,000. Yeah. So this is the amount after an year when he repaid 10,320. All right, we will make some space. Now we have to calculate the amount after an year, after repaid amount. I have to calculate the amount after 2 years now. All right. So amount after 2 years would be, now the new principal is 2,06,000 for me, and I have to apply the fundamentals. 1 plus rate of interest is 4%, and 4% I can see it is 4 times, because this 4% is for 6 months and I have to cover 2 years. So 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. There are 4 time periods. So I have to do the power of 4. And again, highly recommend to use the calculator. I will also use the calculator to save my time. It is a very typical question based on a tough calculation. So this will give me, I'm using the calculator, I'm saying that 2,40,990.86. Okay. All right. So what is the interest after an year? After the first year, what is the interest that you gain? So you gain 16,320 amount minus principal. And what is the interest for the next 2 years? So I will just subtract these two amount values. It would be 34,990.86. So adding these two numbers will give me the total interest, that is 51, 9312, 0.86, roughly 51,311. So option B would be the answer. So we have solved this question with the help of formula. Now we can solve this same question with the help of some another fundamentals, and this new technique may be useful for you for the next questions, that is based on successive percentage change. So the new concept is successive percentage change, and it is only applied in compound interest concepts. If there is a change of A% and B% successively, one after the another, the net result, the net change will be A plus B plus AB divided by 100. I will use this technique to find the effective percentage change of 4 and 4. So I'm just using this concept here. 4 plus 4 plus 4 times 4 divided by 100. It would be 8.16%. So this is the effective rate of interest for the first year. For the first year, it is 8.16%. I will use this interest and to find the interest on the first year. That is 8.16% of 2 lakh rupees. That would be how much? 16,320. Yeah. So I have just calculated this interest without calculating the amount. So the amount would be how much? Amount equals to principal plus interest. So it is 2,16,320 that we have calculated earlier, but with the help of formula, we have done that. He repaid how much? 10,320. So he will be left with 2,06,000. All right. Now I have to calculate the same percentage change for the next 2 years. And for the next 2 years, I have to use this 8.16. 4 and 4% will give me 8.16. And the next 4 and 4 will also give me 8.16. I have to just apply the successive percentage change in these two 8.16. So 8.16 plus 8.16 plus, I have to multiply these two. It would be square divided by 100. So it is 16.32. Now I am using some approximation here because I will not calculate 8.16 square. I'll just do it is 8. I just approximated it is 8. 8 square is 64. 64 divided by 100 is 0.64. I have approximated this thing. Why I have approximated? Because the options are very far away. So this can be done. Okay. If the options are very far away, you can use this approximation. It won't affect much. So it is 16.96% roughly. So interest over the next 2 years will be 16.96% applied over the principal of 2,06,000. This is the principal. And again, I'm using the approximation. I'm taking it to 17%. Because I will not calculate 16.96, I just do 17% of 2,06,000, and let me write it here. Okay, so 17%, this is 17%, and this is 2,06,000. The zeros are getting cancelled. It is 17 times 2060. I'll just break. It is 200 plus 6 times 10. It is 34,000 plus 1020, and this would give me 35020. So this is like roughly interest over the next 2 years, approximate. So the total interest is how much? 16,320 is for the first year and 35,020 is for the next 2 years. Roughly it is around 51,340. And I can see my option B is near to this one. So I will go with that. So this technique, I have not used any calculator. I can just solve this question. But again, it will take a lot of time to solve this type of question. It is up to you if you are going to select this question. But it can be solved. I hope you have learned this new technique and try to use this technique in the compound interest concepts. It is very useful, and see you in the next video. Bye.